that moment of admiration, I lost everything. All right, I want to introduce a freshman, Ashley Haley, who is an early childhood education major from Lexington, South Carolina, and she is doing her speech on homosexual adoption.
Lesbians and gays seek adoption for the same reason as heterosexuals, to fulfill a desire to be a parent. They want to provide a home for a child and to have that wonderful parent-child relationship. This statement came from Peter Fowler, who is currently the senior counsel of the United States Patent and Trademark Office when he was making his way through law school in 1984. So today I will be persuading you as to why homosexual couples should have the same rights as heterosexual couples when it comes to adopting children. Now, what I myself may not be, I do have some homosexual friends who, when we were having some heart-to-heart talks, I was honestly quite surprised to hear that they one day wanted to adopt, and as if adoption wasn't hard enough, they expressed that it would be even more difficult for them when the day came for them. And so I've researched this topic myself because I think it is an interesting one and one that I believe in and feel that I can present this speech to y'all today. And I feel that this topic is significant because homosexuals can be completely qualified to be great parents and have a job that provides more than enough for a child, but still be barred from adopting in certain states such as Arkansas, Nebraska, Florida, Utah, and Mississippi. And while California, Massachusetts, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, Ohio, Rhode Island, Vermont, Washington, and Wisconsin allow homosexual couples to adopt jointly, the states of gay adoption in the other 35 states is ambiguous. All this information came from Michael Lindenberger's 2,000 times article, "The Fight Over Gay Adoption Heats Up." So today I will be going through some topics, how many shows now feature gay couples and gay relationships, and how the right and want to be a parent should not be taken away due to someone's sexuality, and lastly, how growing up in a same-sex coupled household can actually benefit children. In their 2009 article, Gays in Television, the Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation, aka GLAAD, stated that in more recent years, more and more popular television shows have featured gay characters. Now we're familiar with some of these: Modern Family, Happy Endings, Desperate Housewives, Glee, Pretty Little Liars, and more have featured homosexual characters and homosexual relationships. And according to TV Guide's official website, tvguide.com, which was last updated in 2012, this has not stopped people from watching, or else these shows would no longer be on the air and we would no longer be able to enjoy them. And they have also stated that ratings have not gone down due to including these controversial topics. They feel as though these relationships are more accepted simply because they're not real. They're there for our enjoyment, right? But these characters would not exist if people like this in our society did not exist. So that's why they are there on television for us to enjoy. And for instance, a couple that some of us might be familiar with, Modern Family's homosexual couple, Cameron and Mitchell. Now, many were accepting and supported their adoption when it happened on television, so why can't the same happiness happen for real gay adoption? Now, really, adoption is not as easy as it made it seem on the show. One cannot simply go to a foreign country and return with a child. And all 50 states permit single or married couples to adopt. But as I stated earlier, out lesbians and gays seeking adoption may face explicit bans on homosexual adoption. But really, the desire to parent is unrelated to sexual orientation. There is no parenting gene that is only present in heterosexuals. The qualities that make good parents or good adoptive parents are universal. The ability to love and care for a child is not going to be determined by someone's sexual orientation. The public's view of lesbians and gays is clouded by many misperceptions. Those who oppose the idea of lesbians and gay men as adoptive parents use one or more of four rationales. The first is that the child would be harassed or ostracized, especially when they are going to school or playing outside in their neighborhood. But isn't this a fear that happens with any child and parent? Second is the fear that the child may become gay or lesbian themselves. Third is that the courts believe that living with a homosexual parent may harm the child's moral well-being. And lastly, they worry about child molestation. But none of these reasons is sufficiently related to the child's best interest to justify denying a homosexual individual the right to parent. And furthermore, none of these fears is supported by evidence. They're simply that. They're just fears and judgments. They are not fact. All this information came from Gerald Mallon's 2008 article, Gay Men and Lesbians as Adoptive Parents. And what many don't realize is that studies show that there are many benefits to living in a same-sex coupled household. Children raised by these couples have more empathy towards others and are more fluent and more comfortable with issues of human diversity. They have more freedom to express themselves outside of norms, whether that be the regular everyday norms or gender norms. This information coming from Lillian Downey's 2011 article, Gay Adoption Advantages for Children on Livestrong.com. In this article, Downey also states that gay and lesbian couples are just as involved in childcare as heterosexual couples. Mallon also states in this 2008 article that I mentioned earlier that the children of homosexual parents grow up just as successfully and have the same emotional health as kids that are raised by heterosexual parents. And living with homosexual parents does not traumatize a child, nor keep them from fulfilling their dreams and desires. The National Organization for Men Against Sexism stated on their official website, nomads.org, in 2008, that the obstacles gay and lesbians have to overcome to adopt, to be thoroughly invested parents, show that they do want to do this, that they would not go through this long and difficult process if they didn't want to be a parent so badly. Now, I've just covered some reasons as to why homosexual couples should receive the same rights as heterosexual couples when it comes to adopting. I gave you information as to why they are really no different from heterosexual couples and how children growing up in these households can actually be benefited. And for my closing thought, I'll ask you this. Isn't it love that makes a family? Do we not count people who we are no way related to as our family because the love we share? It's not as if a homosexual cannot love. Thank you.